What's the price? Prices going up. Woo! Prices. The big bad I slide. Prices.
Hello everyone, I'm Raquel Russell and I'm bringing you a new series called Money Makes the World Go Round. Today we'll be viewing the aspects of capitalism. So currently we're about to leave, we're about to head out, go around Metro Atlanta and surrounding areas and just interview people about capitalism, different aspects dealing with capitalism, how they feel about our government, how they feel about the system, and anything they could change in our world today. So let's get to it. Okay, have you ever heard of the term capitalism?
Of course.
And can you give your best definition or reasoning behind it?
Capitalism. We all don't have the same abilities, and people that have extra abilities are able to capitalize upon them.
An economic system based on a free market society where goods are exchanged back and forth between two parties.
Private companies, corporations, and public as well that sell goods and products for profit in our society.
Capitalism would be making money off of goods and services, I guess.
Whoever got the most power, they rule. They got it.
Companies provide goods and services for the use of profit.
It ties in with money.
It causes a lot of issues, for one, because you have a lot of money and power that are kind of tied in together. So you see a lot of a vast difference in wealth.
I'd say I like it as long as it's not affecting, it's not done without without any cares at all, like the major real estate companies that are coming in and just buying up all the houses here or something like that. It's just done purely for profit, and there's no concern at all about the effects of how it's run. Like the global conglomerate stuff like that, where it's purely for profit, and they're actually doing things that harm the working class. There's only profits for the mega rich.
And I think minorities are disproportionately affected negatively by that because we don't have as many opportunities.
Some parts about it that benefit some people, but it doesn't benefit everybody, because sometimes I feel like some people would benefit it more than other people. So it's easier for some people to manipulate the system.
Minorities tend to have a harder time trying to start their own businesses, as opposed to maybe other races that are more economically advantaged to start their own businesses and organizations.
It's not based on what you got. It's who got the most.
Each interview gave a pretty good understanding of the term capitalism, which ties into our research question. Does capitalism play a vital role in how citizens of the United States develop a perception of others in terms of race and social class? Let's find out. Yeah, okay. Money. Capitalism. Capitalism. This is a system that requires some precision. Selling all these goods for my company. Private profit making, I make money. Competition, there is none. We don't fear that. Laissez-faire, we on our own. No strings attached. I make my own prices based on supply and demand. We the best to ever do it. We are setting the trend. The state don't get involved with what we got going on. The market impacts everything production the federal cannot own. Some say that it sparks greed, but I think that is a lie. It's all about the money and what you can and can't buy. I'm making big bills as a black businesswoman, providing service, selling goods. Most people rate me a 10. Marginalization, monopoly power, externalities. We don't specialize, they pretty sour. capitalism, capitalism. This is a system that requires some precision. Selling all these goods for my company. Private profit making, I make money. Competition, there is none. We don't fear that. Laissez-faire, we on our own. No strings attached. I make my own prices based on supply and demand. We the best to ever do it. We are setting the trend. Yeah. Okay. Money. How does capitalism affect society? So we got some pros and we got cons. Okay, so the pros. The best products for the best price. Okay, so you got your Jordans versus like your flights. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you got some ones and then you got your flights. Like, they're not gonna be the same price. Okay? And then, alright, your cons. They set living standards, social and economic inequality, and monopoly power. Monopoly power means you have one group that just holds all the power. So let's say, okay, so Coke. So Coke, for example, Coke, they own Dasani, Powerade, Sprite, Pepsi. Coke owns Pepsi, like, I bet you ain't know that. Okay, so unfair opportunity, I'm against that. And competition among like different people like Google and Bing, Microsoft, all that stuff like that. How does it affect the African American community? That's a good one. Slaves, they were contributing a huge part and proportion of our profit in the United States during slavery. Like, it makes me look at capitalism like it's hostile, like for our community, like especially. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. That's how I feel about it.
Every little thing you do is such a gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody.
It just was fly. Everybody was talking money. Money was the talk. You know what I mean? Just as a kid.
There is poverty, and then there is how you treat and define poverty. Capitalism has been kind of ruthless in that area.
Many employers favored women and recent immigrants of both genders who have come to populate the labor pool in the low-wage service sector over black men for service jobs.
We know that 8 billionaires own as much as the poorest half of humanity.
Actually, a majority of the time, the same companies that are running the private prisons are also running the detention centers.
It's just like that. For little white kids and rich kids, they get to go to the military academy or ROTC, or they get to take all of this energy and put it into the armed forces. And for a young black male, a young Puerto Rican or Hispanic person, we got to put this in the streets. That's where our energies go. That's the only place we have to put it. So that's what we end up putting.
Take advantage of it, because I was making more money hustling than I was rapping, so I was more into hustling. But I wasn't looking at the bigger picture.
Capitalism is unstable. Capitalism is unequal. And capitalism is fundamentally undemocratic.
Employers of entry-level workers in the service industry felt that consumers perceived inner-city black males to be dangerous or threatening, in part because of their high incarceration rates.
About that game, but that game, that's a vicious game.
Policies driving mass incarceration, like the war on drugs, have been in place since the 1980s. Democratic President Bill Clinton, for example, was hugely responsible for driving up the rate of incarceration.
Insisted capitalism should be referred to as racial capitalism.
You want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, push, step, crush. That's how it all is, and it's like nobody ever
Nothing has
stops.
been more damaging to the earth than capitalism.
Where we from, and I'm not from where you're from, but what I mean by we is poverty. We're from the hood, and that's a reality for half the hood. Yeah, that's a reality for half the hood.
The federal government, I believe, should not use criminal history to screen out applicants before we even look at their qualifications. We can't dismiss people out of hand simply because of a mistake that they made in the past.
But from this mass incarceration, certain companies are making a buttload of money.
A number of impersonal economic forces have contributed to the incredibly high rate of joblessness among low-skilled black males and their correspondingly low incomes.
I don't feel like what I did was so evil. I just feel like the way I was living and my mentality was a part of my progression to be a man.
It's a very vicious game, and it's always a gamble.
I grew up so much in that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's why I talk about it so easy now, because I seen the good and the bad.
The suffering of poor, white, and working class communities has been caused pretty much by the same economic phenomena that are responsible for the rise of mass incarceration and the prison industrial complex.
The problem we're trying to solve is not just to keep on catching people and putting them back in jail. The problem we're trying to solve here is giving people a foundation through which they can then become productive citizens.
Us meaning youth, or us meaning black people, whatever you want to take it for. For us to be on our own 2 feet, we do need help, because we have been here, we have been a good friend. If you want to make it a relationship type thing, we have been there, and now we deserve our payback.
That girl, she got with my clone. I told that little girl that she gotta just do better.